Good morning, everybody. Welcome to my webinar this morning. We're going to talk about repeat business, which is truly the best source of cash flow because it's the cheapest business you can get in the door. We're going to go through some tips and techniques, some stuff that you can do without spending any money that will make your customers come back again and again, which means they're obviously not going to be your competitors, which is kind of the name of the game. Okay, so sit down, buckle up. And for those of you who are watching this as a recording, enjoy. I'm pity we couldn't get to you live, but such is life. Okay, repeat business. This is all about customer loyalty. Okay, so for the next 45 odd minutes, we're going to run through how you have to do a bit more than your competitors, not just do more, do stuff a little differently. All right, when your competitors are like you, they provide good service, they have a quality product. That's what the customer's right is. That's what they expect to get, and that's what most people deliver most of the time. If you want them to come back again and again and again, exceed their expectation. Right? Enjoy. If you want to enjoy the business, the benefits of that repeat business, just do it, because studies have shown that repeat customers spend 67% more than first timers. It makes sense in a way. First timers are often only buying one or two items. They're just trying you out. That's great, because that's your opportunity to start to lock them in and to build them to win their hearts. And like I said, next 45 minutes, we're going to go through some stuff you can do to keep them coming back. Right? You want that word of mouth referral, because that is the cheapest advertising you're ever going to get. And it's not just that. That advertising has more credibility than anything you're going to spend $1 on. And you know what? It doesn't cost you anything other than doing things a little differently, getting it right. So, as I said, it's not about the money, okay? It's about attitude, it's about process, it's about being prepared to get outside of the box and just be a little different, a little better than your competitors, okay? My favorite saying, you want to be a penguin in the duck pond, all right? We live in a world full of ducks. When you're in business, you're a duck, everybody else is a duck. Man, you want to be a penguin, okay? You just want to be a little different. Like, seriously, why would they talk about you? If you're the same as everybody else, you're vanilla, and that's a milkshake, though. That's ice cream. Like, come on. You want to provide an experience that is extraordinarily, consistently extraordinary, something they'll remember, something they will talk about. That's the name of the game, okay? Little improvements to everyday stuff. It's not a massive rebrand. It's not a refit every 2 years. It's not dancing girls in neon lights or getting manpower or somebody in to do a show for you every 3 days. It's about doing the small stuff, right? The way you greet your customers and talk with them. Right? Don't talk at them. And we've all had that. Like, you've all had that experience where you walk into a shop and you could see that the person behind the counter, they're running off a script and then just going bang, 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 delivering the lines that they have to deliver because somebody in the business said, this is how you talk to the customers. Right? Your uniforms. Yeah, not every business has uniforms, and that's fine. But if you're in a business where you've got customer-facing staff who have a uniform, be a little different. Okay, I mean, I know of one entity in town here where their staff uniform is black, as in it's just black. I walk in there and I wonder if their products have come there to die, because it looks like a funeral parlor. Spark it up, guys. Do something a little different. Give people a reason to talk about you in a positive way. Okay, the layout of your store. And somebody, look, you think about it. Just take one step back from your business and then walk in cold. What do you see? What do you think? What's the experience like? Is the layout consumer friendly? Okay, and not all of us have that need to have that consumer friendly layout. A lot of us just are service based. A mechanic, you know, they have indeed a customer area. When somebody visits to book their car in, or to pick their car up, or just to wait to have it serviced, how's that experience? Right? So there's little things like that. Client education. Do you actually provide clients information about what it is you do and why you do it and how it works and how it doesn't work, and upgrade their skills? Because if you don't, Mr. Google will. And as we all know, the internet is a source of all information, and it's also the source of a lot of stuff which is really not information at all. And your after sales support. Like, really, once somebody's bought something, do you have any communication with them after that? Is there any, sometimes there is a need to follow up on stuff, but what about the follow up which is not obligatory? What about the follow-up, which says, I value you as a customer, and I'm just checking to make sure that what you bought actually does what you want it to do and does it to a standard that you're happy with. The little things, guys. They don't have to cost money. You just have the courage to make a little change and you'll get some big returns. Trust me, it's the way it works. So, number one, this is the big one. Understand the business you're in. You can read it on the slide there. And this is a story from a client of mine, local hairdresser, and she changed her business performance because she figured out that they weren't in the business of doing haircuts, blow dries and colors and stuff. They were in the business of self-esteem. They were in the business of making their customers feel good about themselves. Well, when they walk out the door, they've had an experience and they have been pampered a little bit or a lot, but it's been something that they have not had to lift a finger to do. They've been affirmed with how they feel about themselves. They feel better about themselves. And suddenly her business results started to take off. Who'd have thought? You make your customer feel good about themselves. You not only deliver a quality product, you're delivering a quality service, and they keep coming back and they spend a little bit more because they don't just get, in this example, the haircut, the blow dry, the tint. They get the color, the shampoo, the conditioner, the accessories that are all there for sale. They get the referral to the lady around the corner who has a kick-ass dress shop. This is how you build repeat business. And her client, she's booked out, okay? She's actually putting on an apprentice because she can't cope with the workload. So you just need to sit back, evaluate, have a look at what it is you do, and just think, like, really, what are we in the business of? Okay, good friend of mine, been a client of mine for a long time, has an engineering business. Smart guy, very smart guy. They know that they're not in the business of making spare parts, even though they make a lot of parts for trucks and trailers and stuff. That's not their business. Their business is fixing problems for transport companies. And it's not the, oh dear, something broke, I need to replace it problem. It's the, why did that part, which is an original part, break so quickly? And they make better parts, which don't break so quickly. So by doing that, they have people coming back again and again and again. And they now supply manufacturers with parts which the manufacturers used to make themselves because they simply make a better mousetrap. So have a look at what it is you do and just think about really, what is it that we do? What are we delivering to the customer? Value them. Yeah, well, existing customers are gold. We all know that. Okay. So value them, all right? It doesn't have to be an over-the-top system, right? Just make some way of recording milestones and their preferences so they know when you walk in that you care about them. Like when they see you, they know that this guy actually, or this girl knows that I want this type of product. In hospitality, like in the food and beverage industry, that's critical. You want to know your regular customers, what their preferences are, so when they ask for something, you've already got it halfway there. You want to know when somebody comes in for clothing, really, if you're a small boutique, where do their preferences sit? What do they usually get? What do they like? So you don't waste their time or almost offend them to a point of showing them items that you know they're not going to wear in a million years. It's just not going to happen. So why do it? It's about making your service personalized so that it means something to them. So they know that you really understand and care about them. So that's why they come back, because they get that individual attention. Market research, right? Now, you can treat statistics as you like, but this is a consistent figure. It's 70% plus or minus of customers feel undervalued, and therefore they don't return, they don't and they don't refer. And it's the return and the referrals that we're chasing. That, when you think about it, 70% of customers don't do that. So, okay, that's 70% of your customers, possibly. So let's put in place some systems and let's have a look at how we can actually show that we value them. It's also 70% of your competitors' customers. That is an opportunity to build some real long-term value in your business and actually grow without spending all that much money at all. Okay, so just, and it can be simple things, a diary, a simple on-the-counter diary or a diary in your computer system that simply reminds you to follow up with people and make sure that the purchase they made did what it was supposed to do. Right? Post-purchase regret is a real thing. It's not. It exists. It's been, that's been studied and verified many, many years ago. So follow up the purchase. Right? And again, if you're in a business where you're dealing with a repeat purchase, maybe it's not such, it's just a light touch. But if you're dealing with a business where it's a major event, car salesmen do it all the time. If you're in the service industry and you've completed a contract with a client, and this is something I do, so I'll check with them a week later. Hey guys, just making sure that everything's going smoothly. All right, that the plans we put in place are working and that you're happy with the outcomes. It's not a case of I've been in there, done the job, never talk to them again. It doesn't work like that. Not if you want them to come back, and not if you want them to refer their friends and their network to you for your services and your products. Okay, so it's not an opportunity to sell. You're not doing that. You're not pushing your own barrow, mate. We know everybody will see that coming a mile away, and it'll turn them off. It's genuine. It's got to be legitimate. You just want to make sure that the transaction they had, the business that you've done, is done, and they're happy, and it's working well. You do that, the rest of it will come. And that's about where you pull up the conversation. You're not hammering on another product or another service. If they raise the issue, by all means, okay, it's on the table, discuss to your heart's content, but do not raise it yourself. Okay, that's their prerogative. This is just a simple light touch follow-up, make sure everybody's happy in the camp. Seth Godin, this is the truth of it. People don't buy the goods and services. I mean, they are, we know they are, but that's not what they're buying. It's the relationship, it's the story, it's the magic of what you do. Okay, that's why they do business with you. Okay, look, I'll use myself as an example. Okay, I do a lot of consulting with small business in the area of marketing and sales, a little bit of HR stuff, a lot of strategy stuff. People aren't necessarily buying that. They're buying the relationship that we have and the way that we can put some magic into their business. Okay, and that's really what it's about. Now, important events. We touched on this earlier. If you want to really deeply have customers who really are embedded in your business, your diary. Okay, just remember their birthday. If you've got a customer relationship management system, which we should all have, so you can just keep an easy track of contact details as a minimum, and purchase history would be nice as well. So another topic for another day, but stick birthdays in there. And it's a simple thing, a handwritten card. That's all it is. That's all it has to be. It's not a sales thing. It's a simple handwritten card. Okay, the personal touch, very, very powerful. Do not underestimate that. And I know you're thinking it's a bit hokey. You know, all the real estate agents do it. Your local MP does it. Well, yeah, they do, but they don't. Okay, I get a birthday card for my local MPs and councillors every year. It's pre-printed. The signature is pre-printed. Please. As far as I know, the electorate officer does that thing. They just get them, bang, in an envelope, out the door. It's done and done. Guys, pen, ink, card, or just a note. Make it personal, and they will remember. I'll guarantee you they will remember it. Okay, if you want to have them connected and engaged with your business, you make it personal. Okay, you just treat them the way you want to be treated. I mean, honestly, the ones I get is chuck them in the bin. You haven't signed it. You haven't even taken a minute to sign it. Come on, where's the legitimacy in that? Another thing in terms of personal is give them first access to new product lines. Okay, if you've got something really cool coming up, then say, hey guys, this is going to be launched, or we are going to have stock come in on the 15th of May. Okay, on the 14th of May, okay, it's going to be available on the 15th. We'll have it in store on the 14th of May. We're going to have a small VIP customer event where you can come along, have a look at it before anybody else. You get right the first dibs on it. It's all yours. Come and check it out. And just, again, small things. And doing that costs you virtually nothing. For the return you will get, it is an investment that is just beyond belief. Okay, product knowledge here, and this leads into product knowledge. Educate your clients, okay? Because if you're teaching them about the product and you're letting them know what's going on in the background, you're trusting them, okay? You're showing them that you value their intelligence and you're going to spend time with them, your time with them, to bring them up to speed. Okay, and it's not just you know, what it's made of or what it does. It's how it solves their problems, because that's why we're in business. We're not in business because it's Thursday. We're in business to solve somebody's problems. There's an itch that needs to be scratched, and we've got the problem scratcher right here. Okay, so you know, it comes down to the assumption. Okay, you don't assume that they know everything about what they're buying. Okay, they're really not the experts. Well, some are, to be honest. Some people are really smart and they've tuned into what it is they're after. But the most of them, they've got a problem, they want to fix it. You're the problem fixer, take care of it. Cool, we can do that as a one-off. Or you can explain to them how what you're doing fixes their problem, and in some cases, how they can avoid the problem occurring in the future. And that way, you're giving them, they become part of the club. You're giving them some ownership in a way. And everybody, it's a human condition. Everybody wants to belong to something. Okay, they want to be a part of something. Invite them into your business. Give them some education, and they'll become advocates, because nobody else does it. Right? Really, if you think your competitors do it, fine. Mystery shop them. Go have a look and see what they do. You just need to be that little bit better, and this is one way of really differentiating yourself in the market. Okay, when they can get the most from what you're doing, when you can educate them and make them part of your business, they will share that experience and that story with others. Okay, and marketing these days runs on storytelling. It's all storytelling. This education is a great story. It really is. So the way you talk to people, make it simple. Okay, don't use jargon. Okay, small words. Make sure you understand what it is they're after and explain it to them in a way so they use it properly. Okay, give them some educational material. Video, my God, my favorite marketing and educational tool is video, because people can sit, they can watch it whenever they want, they can have the volume on, off. If you subtitle it, story for another day. Use your website, use your YouTube channel, use your LinkedIn profile, use your Facebook page, get the information out there. And if your competitors pick up on it, more power to them. You're first in market, you're leading the way, and people will see that, and it will come back in spades. The trick with video, the bit on the bottom there, keep it real. As you can see, I'm not sitting in the Channel 9 studio because I'm not Channel 9. If you keep it real, it will be a very powerful sales tool for you in a way where you're not actually selling. All you're doing is educating your clients on what it is they're buying and how you fix their problems. We have a client of ours going back to the beginning of last year who has a floor sanding business, lovely guy. And we met at a breakfast and was talking about video at this breakfast, and he's just an average guy, and he was really stressed about the fact that, video, no, he's very shy, got no idea. And we said, listen, mate, just have a crack. Just make it real. Just tell your story. Do a before and after on a floor. Okay, this is it before I started polishing, scrappy bit of timber, and here it is. Looks like $1 million when you finish. That's all you need to do. Keep it short, 1 to 3 minutes, no more. Happy days. Man, it went berserk. He's not a fancy guy. Videos are very simple, and he went from working sort of 4 or 5 days a week to working 7 days a week. He was booked out. He now has somebody else working with him. He did a video on one of his sanding machines, his big asbestos from Italy sanding machine. It's dustless, and I kind of giggled. Honestly, I giggled a little bit. A dustless sanding machine, right? Let me see that. And so I did, because it was on the video, and there is no dust. It's got a vacuum cleaner in a bag that work like magic, absolute magic. That one video blew his business into the stratosphere, because suddenly people realized that, he comes in and he can do just one floor in my house. I don't have to cover the furniture. I don't have to move all the furniture into the upper side of Victoria somewhere. He can just come in, clean out one room, do the room, polish it up, finish it off. A couple of days later, we're back in. The rest of the house is fine. Wow. That one video made him a lot of money. And it wasn't a trick video. There was nothing staged about it. There's no makeup, no fancy lights, no nothing. It was just him, the machine, the floor before, the floor after, and then the phone went berserk. So do not underestimate the ability of just being yourself on video. Solve the problem. We spoke about this earlier. We do not sell widgets. I do not sell my sparkling personality. What I sell is the ability to solve a problem. And that's really what you're doing. No one wants to be sold to, okay? You know, you hate that yourself. What they want is the problem fixed. Now, please, okay? So that's what we sell. We sell the solution, okay? We don't oversell, okay? Just fix the problem. If there's an opportunity to cross-sell, yeah, if there's a legitimate need, fine, go for it, okay? But for goodness sake, don't do the McDonald's, oh, do you want a fry and Coke with that? Like, no, if I wanted a drink and chips, I would have asked for them, okay? Stop trying to ram extra stuff down my throat. It's as irritating as anything. So when you're doing it, fix the problem, fix the problem, fix the problem. If when you're discussing how you can fix the problem, another problem comes to light, by all means, offer the solution, okay? But don't keep throwing product, or service in their face. It's got to be a legitimate need that you're addressing, right? You want trust and loyalty? This is the thing that I've done on occasion, and the client's reaction is priceless. Don't sell, refuse to sell to them. I had a guy when I was doing some finance broking, still do actually, but this one instance, he really wanted a specific product, and I refused to say, mate, I'm not signing, no, I'm not taking an application. I don't care. I'm not interested, because that will not do what you want, despite the fact that you've been told otherwise by your accountant. I don't care. This is how this product actually works. This is going to be the outcome. That is not where you're going. We can do it better if we go in another direction entirely. It just doesn't suit your business. It's going to cause problems. And funnily enough, he was actually grateful for me saying, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to do the business with you. He went away, did it with somebody else, and it all went sideways. Okay, can't help that. But at least we didn't have somebody going away saying, hey, listen, I went to this guy, he gave me what I wanted, it didn't work, what a muppet, and bad-mouthing our business because we didn't do that. We don't do that. If it doesn't suit, say no. If it's not going to fix the problem, what's the point of doing the business? Okay. You say no when it's not appropriate. That's show you're going to trust them. They'll repay that with trust and loyalty. Okay, it's long-term value. That's why I'm in business. It's nice to get $1 today, but you do the things right, you get that long-term value, and we've got long-term dollars coming in. So, prejudgment, another favorite. Don't do it. Like, we all do it. Like age, background, the way they dress, male, female, I don't know, mannerisms. You prejudge on that and you'll get people offside like that, just like that. And you won't only lose the sale, they will talk about it, and you will lose the sale from all of their associates. Just not going to happen because you've just been a little quick on the trigger. And for those who understand the movie reference, it's a big mistake. Big, huge. Don't do it. All right, we've had some kids in our business over time, and the first thing I said is, hey, listen, customer walks in the door, what's the first thing you do? And they go, oh, and you get 45 different answers. It's like, no, first thing you do is just breathe. Just chill, take a minute, breathe, have a look, listen to what they've got to say. Okay, don't judge, don't start making suggestions, don't do nothing. Just breathe, listen to what they've got to say, and then we move on from there and we fix the problem. Easy, very easy. But if you do it right, especially with people who are feeling marginalized, they're a minority in society, that clientele comes back to it. Repeat business, repeat business, repeat business. You do it right, they will keep coming back, and they will tell their friends, and their friends will come back, and that is the cheapest source of cash flow you will ever find. You cannot beat it. There we go. And Mary Kay Ash, admittedly, it's makeup. If you want repeat business, makeup's one of your gains, because women just keep using it up and buying it again. But if you get it wrong, they buy it once, maybe twice, they don't come back. And if you that quote from Mary Kay, like that's gold, guys. That is just gold. Make them feel important. Okay, that's why if you just make them feel a little bit special, so when they walk out, they went, you know, that was a different experience. I enjoyed that. And the next time they need to buy what they just bought from you, or the next time they need something which they know you can supply, guess who they're going to? All right? They're not going to your competitors, because they know that if they go to you, it's a good experience. And that's what it's about. It's about delivering that great experience repeatedly, again and again, getting the systems and processes right. So when people walk out the door, they go, wow, that was actually an enjoyable process. Like, that went pretty smoothly. Follow-up is where the money's at. Anybody in sales knows what I mean when I say that. It's you can make a million calls, you can do all the contacts you like, but follow-up's where the money's at. And we can talk about sales programs later, and that is a big part of it, but it's not just that. It's the post. I said earlier, it's a post-sales process. Okay, make sure they're satisfied. If they've got questions about the product, I don't know, try answering them. Okay, it's simple stuff. Okay, be aware that when you ring up to see if they are satisfied, there are a number of things that will happen. They'll be satisfied. Cool. They'll be absolutely delighted. It's not a bad outcome. They will not be satisfied. Fine, fix the problem. Find out what went sideways and fix it, and then make sure it doesn't happen again. And if they ask you a question which you don't have the answer to, tell them that. No one expects you to know everything, okay? If you don't know, tell them that you don't know. Tell them that you'll find out, and then, I don't know, find out, get back to them. Your competitors don't do it. I can guarantee you that 98% of the time, and your competitors aren't doing that sort of follow-up. It takes a little bit of time. It takes focus, discipline, and systems. It's all about systems and process, and just keeping that going, and you will have repeat, loyal customers. And as I just said, if you don't know, say so. Okay, we've all had that experience where you walk into a store, you ask a question, and within about 10 seconds, you know that the answer that's coming out of that person's mouth is absolute rubbish. They didn't have a clue. They're just making something up to try and get you out of their face, or to make it seem like they know what they're talking about, so you'll buy something off them. If you say you don't know, you're going to do a couple of things. One is you're going to build trust, because you've shown that you're not afraid to admit you don't know everything. So the client will actually look at you and go, oh, didn't expect that. Okay. And then when you make the promise that you'll find out, and you get their contact details if you don't already have them, and that you will get back to them, and you put a timeline on that, and you stick to the timeline, you've shown that you're prepared to go the extra mile to fix their problems. And then when you actually come back with an answer, even if it's the fact that, I'm sorry, but I couldn't find an answer for your problem anywhere, we're going to have to find another way of dealing with it. You've shown that you care. Okay, you want to surprise your customers. If you really want to surprise and delight them, show them that you care, that you actually care, and you're going to follow up and do what you said you're going to do when you said you're going to do it. It sounds simple, it is simple, and it is not that common. Penguin, duck pond. Okay, you want to be the penguin, guys. Be the penguin in the duck pond, and just let them know that you are a little bit different, and that you've got their best interests at heart, and away we go. Now, I touched on this earlier in the new product release. You've got something new coming out. Okay, we all love our customers, more or less. There are some customers who are a challenge to deal with. There are others who are an absolute delight to deal with. But your repeat customers, challenging or delightful, reward them. Have an event. You can actually call it. I mean, you can use that if you like. I generally love my customer event. Go your hardest. If you want to use that as the headline, please be my guest. But call it something. Okay, it's just a simple event. It doesn't have to cost $1 million. It can just be something that puts the focus on them, with you saying thank you for their business. You can have, like as I suggested there, a guest speaker from your industry. Okay, somebody who's got something that will add value to your customer's day, something of interest. Just put it on, and you don't have to. You might have 100 customers you invite and 5 turn up. Okay, cool. You've got 5 customers who've turned up. You have the event, and then you've got 5 more advocates out there who are talking about your business and advertising your business in a way that has real credibility and real longevity for the price of some wine and cheese, as an example. Okay, and the tip there on the bottom, reminders. SMS. Text is king, ladies and gentlemen, absolutely king. Okay, you can send messages, use Messenger, Facebook, use Instagram, use email, ring them all up if you wish. But if you want engagement, if you want to cut through, text is king. We love our customers. Yes, you can borrow that too if you like. Whack it on your wall because it's true. You love your customers, because if you don't, your competitors will, I guarantee you. Consistency, another favourite. Right, systems and processes are the foundations. The people who take the, we're a startup and go buy a suit of our pants, fly, that's cool. And that will help you find the path to a long-term business, because nothing ever works instantly first time. It doesn't happen. You've got to switch and change and find the things that work. But once you find the things that work, systemize it, make processes so that you can duplicate your efforts. Every successful business has systems and processes that they follow consistently, because that's how they do business. Okay. The classic example, our friends at McDonald's, in fact, any business in food, any of those franchises, they all do it. They do it the same way. Any franchise business, they do it the same way everywhere. So you get that consistent experience. You go to McDonald's in Hong Kong, you go to McDonald's in Bangkok, you go to McDonald's in Darling Harbour, it is pretty much a bit of variation in the menu, but the processes, the systems, they're all the same. That's the way they do business successfully. So what you need to do, I said, is identify what works for your business. Okay, just figure out what it is you do that makes things happen. And then once you've done that, systemize it. Okay, document what it is and make systems that ensure that your staff can duplicate it, because you don't want to be the only person in your business who knows how things work and who can do things, because if you do that, then you don't have a business, you have you with a brand on your forehead, which is not a long-term solution to anything. You want to be able to have a system and a process so that when your customers come in, it is a consistent, excellent experience. Every customer, every time. Now, I'm not naive, neither are you. We know that it won't be every customer every time, because we're all human and our staff are human, and nobody can actually do that perfectly. But if you have the systems in place, you have the processes in place, and you focus on delivering them consistently in an excellent manner, you will succeed many, 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 many more times than you fail. And that will put you ahead of your competitors every day. Penguin, duck pond. Okay, be different, deliver. Emotions matter. Geez, don't they just? Okay, no one is a robot. Okay, we're all people. We all get different things from interactions with our clients, and different things when we're the customer. The interactions that we have are different from day to day, from business to business. So you think about it, you sit back for a second, have a coffee and think about how do you want your customers to feel, and what do you want them to become when they deal with your business? And that goes right back early in the talk when I was talking about the hairdresser who sat back, and we did this exercise, and it was like, self-esteem. I thought, like, you're not in the business of cutting hair, you're in the business of making women feel good about themselves. Okay, and you look at your business, how do you want people to feel when they walk in, and how do you want them to feel when they walk out? Work it out. Think about what you need to do to make that a recurring event. Hint, if you get stuck, ask your customers. Like, guys, when you're wandering, you're like, what's the go? When you walk out, what do you want to feel like? Like, what sort of interaction do you want to have here? Let's talk about some emotions. It'll be an interesting conversation, I can assure you of that, but it will not just interesting, it'll be enlightening, okay? You'll get data out of that, which is worth its weight in gold. It really is. So take a minute, talk with your clients and say, guys, when you're doing business with us, what's in it for you? Like, how do you feel? Like, what do you want to feel like when you walk out the door? Okay, let's see if we can build something here. So when you come back, you have an experience which is something very special. Okay, see if we can deliver that, because at the end of the day, it's about the relationships. Business is all about relationships. Okay, if you want to make it purely about price, if you just want to make it a commodity-based approach to business, be my guest. Okay, but if you want repeat business, if you want to add value to your business, if you want to have a lifestyle that comes out of having a business that does business really well every day, focus on the emotions. That's how it works. Feedback, okay, and this, we were talking all the way through about engaging with your clients. customer engagement. Like you care, like we don't really care about it. Like you don't not care about the people who walk into your business. You've got some investment there. So why not ask them for ways to improve? Okay, we've all seen the suggestion box, and we've all seen some of the suggestions that wind up in the suggestion box. Some that are simply physically impossible to actually implement. But do it, okay? It's reviews, okay? One-on-one is best, okay? Ask somebody, okay, give us some ideas for improvement, guys. Like, what can we do better for you personally? You know, we might, and be honest, like, I'll be upfront. Look, we're not going to be able to do everything, okay? Some things are physically and financially impossible. It's simply not going to happen. But give us some guidelines, give us some ideas. What's the ballpark? What can we do to make your engagement with us better? How can we make it special for you? Okay, do a group event. Okay, I love your customer events. Make it a focus event. So guys, we're just going to seek feedback. We're going to shout your lunch. Come along, or morning tea, or whatever. Come along and give us your honest opinion on how we can do business better. Right? Are there product lines we're missing out on? Is it a marketing thing? Is it the fact that you don't like my aftershave? Like whatever it is, get feedback, because you are showing your customers that you value them and that you actually care about what they have to say. Now, reviews, Google reviews. Probably the most widely used review system is Google Reviews. It is also the least moderated. It is the least credible. It is horrible. If you want legitimate reviews, implement your own review system that triggers your clients to engage with you. Get Trustpilot, get Yotpo, ask for the review. Have a review survey they can pick up off the counter, fill in and drop it in a box anonymously, okay? Follow it up, and with Google, especially with Google reviews, keep an eye on it and check for the fake ones and get them out of there. All right, clean them out. There is a number of companies that can help you with that. If you've got somebody going after you, one that is very, very good is Removify, Australian company. They are onto it. Yeah, follow up the reviews, always a good idea. Don't have, and we've all seen it, like the automated response. It's a chatbot response to people's comments along the lines of, "Hi, thank you for contacting us. We aim to get back to you within 24 hours." Don't do it. Okay, if you're going to monitor your review system, which we're all going to do, then take the time to give a legitimate response to that review. Okay, don't do the cut and paste. We have response A, response B, response C, because people will see it a mile away. It has no credibility and it hurts your business. Don't do it. Get in there, take the time, and it is time consuming. I'm not unaware of that. We all know that this sort of thing is not an instant, and that's why people use the chatbot response, because it takes time to get in there and read everything and give a legitimate, honest response. But the payoff, the payoff is worth it, okay? Now, and again, the key is being consistent. Get the process right. And then when you give people feedback and there is an issue, okay, and that's what 90% of your feedback is going to be, an issue, fine. You fix it and then let them know that it's been fixed, or you've addressed the problem, so that they feel that they haven't just yelled at a cloud. Okay, they've got in touch with you. They've made the effort to get in touch with you and say, "Hey, listen, I had a problem with this," and you've valued that and honored the request, and you've come back with a response. Now, you can't always implement their ideas. You can't always fix everything, but that's not the critical thing. It's the engagement. It's the fact that you have taken the time to honor their problem, to have a look at it and say, "Hey, listen, okay, you've got an issue. All right, we can do this to fix it, and this is what we're going to do in the future, and we look forward to you coming back so you have a better experience next time." Okay, it's the engagement, guys. Simple is plan A. My goodness, one of my favorite sayings, because our world is increasingly complex. There are so many systems, and there's an app for everything. In fact, I'm surprised somebody hasn't got an app to make the sunrise yet. So simplicity is actually incredibly valuable. And simplicity is one of the hardest things to implement. It is not easy to achieve. It takes effort, it takes commitment, but it can transform your business and give you market leadership. iPhone, hello iPhone. they took a whole lot of complex devices, stuck it into one, and then made the user interface simple. Bang, market share, instant market share. Nokia had only just struggled back onto the market under new ownership. Motorola are only just coming back, and they were the kings at the beginning of the mobile phone era. Keep it simple and you will win. Make it easy for the customer. Okay, can you get rid of jargon? And as I say there, jargon's my pet hate. It's using words as weapons, trying to show how smart you are. If you don't need the jargon in there, get rid of it. What can you take out of the process to make it simple for the customer? Your written material, is it easy to understand from their point of view, or is it super technical? Sometimes it has to be super technical. You simply can't get away with it. That's the nature of the beast. But if it doesn't have to be, then don't. Make it simple. And simple doesn't always mean strip back. As I say there, it's not always take it back to the bare bones. Sometimes you have to put extra in there so that it's simpler and easier for the customer to do. Sometimes you have to explain things in a lot of small words, so when they actually go to use your product or to implement the solution that you've provided, it's a simple implementation. Okay. Oh, and when you get stuck, if you want to know how to simplify stuff, ask your customers. They'll tell you how to make it easy for them. All right. Again, feedback, engagement, listen to what they've got to say, and then see what you can do about it. And here is one thing that I have to constantly remind myself is know when to stop talking. Okay. We all want to help. And I am I'm terrible at that. I just want to dive in and fix everything. Okay. But that genuine drive and excitement can be absolutely fatal to the sales process. And we have all done that. We've lost a sale because we just didn't shut up. Okay. We talked them into the sale, and then we just talked them straight back out of it again in about 3.5 heartbeats. Listen more. Find out what matters to the customer, what's important to them. Like, honestly, why are they there in front of you? There's got to be something there, right? 70-30, okay? Listen for 70, talk for 30, and see what happens, all right? My parents constantly reminded me, Kelby, you've got one mouth and two ears. For God's sake, can you just use them in that proportion, please? Okay, easy approach. Ask open-ended questions, all right? Just throw them a question, sit back and listen to the answer and take note of it. All right? Start at that. Tell me why. Tell me what. Tell me when, how. Just tell me, guys. Where are we at? What's the problem? Okay. Now, complaints are an opportunity. Now, we all know, okay, you look at the reviews. In Australia, again, our friend market research has shown that 4% of customers, give or take, will complain to you personally. They'll actually come up to you and complain. And when they do that, man, they are outside their comfort zone. Because it's confronting. Well, you're actually, there's not many people who will do that. That's hard to do for a lot. The people who do complain go online because it's safe, it's anonymous sometimes if they want it to be that way, and they never come back to you. Okay, again, feedback. They complain, they never hear back, and they tell their mates. Complaints are an enormous opportunity to create a loyal customer and potentially a powerful advocate, because you get to engage with the customer. Even if it's online, you're still engaging with them. And when you're engaging with a customer online, you need to be super aware that you're engaging with a very broad audience. Okay, stay on that. Ask them what they think the solution is. How do they want it fixed? And then listen to what they have to say. Okay, you don't need to justify your position. You don't need to buy into an argument. Just sit back, have a look at what the problem is and fix it. And if you can't fix it, then say so and tell them why. Okay, it simply may be that what they want is fundamentally impossible to implement. Okay, that's life. If you can't do it, you can't do it. Right? And don't be afraid. Like if you've got a stack of staff there, don't be afraid to give them the power and the authority to fix customer complaints within reason. Okay, we've all heard the story of the bloke who worked for FedEx and couldn't get through to deliver a parcel, so he borrowed the corporate jet and delivered it to get around a snowstorm. He got promoted, but they're a pretty rare occurrence, I can tell you that. Okay, but as I say there, the cost of giving your staff some authority to fix problems is a lot less than the cost of a dissatisfied customer who goes vocal in public with their dissatisfaction with a problem that could have been solved quite simply at the counter. Okay, so complaints aren't a drama, they're an opportunity. They're an opportunity to engage. to empower your staff and your customers, to improve your business, and to show the world that you care about your customers and that they're welcome to come back. Customer service, truly memorable customer service. Now, we all think we provide good customer service, but seriously, memorable? Do we? You think about it. Look, we have the right to good customer service. Nobody should go into a business of any description and get treated like rubbish. It's just wrong. Okay. The thing is, though, because we've got that right, is that everyone forgets it. Like, yeah, it was a good experience. Yeah, well, it was supposed to be. It doesn't hit any highlights. It doesn't embed itself in their memories, and it's not a story they're going to share because it's just what they expected to get. Okay, it doesn't get talked about. Memorable customer service. Okay, you do something which people actually remember. Hits a button. They will talk about it. They will share that, and by doing so, you've given them a reason to come back. Right? When they've got to make that transaction again, or they've got another problem that you can solve, they will come back to you because they remember the last time they were there with you, it was a little bit of magic, and the problem got solved in a way that was memorable. So take your time to understand your customer. Right? It's not that hard, and understand what's important to them. Okay. Look, it's an obvious thing, but we sometimes get so focused on the sale. Take a minute, right? The sale will happen or not in its own time frame. Take a minute, understand what their problem is, engage with them, remember the emotion of it all, and then solve it. Not that hard. You want stronger relationships. You want long-term customers. You want to uncover additional opportunities to solve problems. Make the experience memorable when they walk in. And it doesn't have to be everybody in a penguin onesie because some guy you listen to on the internet said everybody had to be a penguin in the duck pond. It just has to be an engagement they recall in a really positive light. That's where you want to be at. And it comes down to understanding, listening and understanding. Like, we can all listen, but it's never enough. Like, it doesn't matter if the customer knows you're listening to them and you're nodding and you're smiling and you're paraphrasing, and they've got to know you've understood what they've said. And it's easy. When you come back to them, look for the trigger words. Okay, they're frustrated, they're concerned, they're disillusioned. Look for the emotion in the transaction. Once you've worked out what it is that the problem really is, once you figure that out, now and only now do you get to talk about how you're going to fix it. Don't fix the problem before you really understand what it is. Okay, and it can take 10 seconds. Okay, it's not a 2-hour group therapy session. All right, it's just make sure when they walk in the door that you listen to what they say and you understand what they say, and here's the catch, they know that you understand, and then give them the solution. Okay, it's just valuing the customer, and this is a really easy, every interaction, repeatable, systemized, processed way of valuing the customer is show them that you understand the problem and you're going to fix it. It's that easy. And about the product or service that you're supplying, your customer doesn't care. Not a little bit, really. It's a means to an end. Okay, it's the problem-solving thing. It's what it does for them that's interesting. Okay, it's not the fact that it's a blue widget. It's the fact that now when they fit the blue widget into their kid's cart, the kid can drag the cart around behind them in the yard and help them while they're doing the gardening, so they've got that family engagement. See what I'm saying? It's not what you sell, it's what it does that counts. So when you're talking to a customer, don't talk to them about the blue widget because nobody cares. Okay, talk to them about how it's going to change their world. Right, it can't be a small change. We're not reinventing fire for crying out loud. But talk about the difference it's going to make to them, the problem it's going to solve, and how it's going to do it. Customer engagement, customer education, value the customer. You sensing the theme here, guys? But make them smile. And there's my mate, the penguin. Dance, baby. Humor has real power. Okay, now people constantly remind my wife that I have the worst collection of dad jokes ever. And I'm proud of that. It's actually a hobby of mine, is collecting some of the corniest, silliest, make no sense whatsoever dad jokes. For example, Why do fish swim in schools? Because they can't walk. Apart from axolotls, of course. But it removes barriers. Okay, humor is so important. It helps build the relationship, even if they walk in there and they cringe because they know you've got another stupid joke coming at them. It doesn't have to be a dad joke, by the way, guys. Do it your way. Sorry, come right back to the start on this one. Humor, do it your way. Okay, I am not. I don't pretend to be Rodney Roode or Steady Eddie or Billy Connolly or any of that sort of stuff. I'm just me. Do it your way. Keep it real. But the humor really counts. Okay, it'll be remembered. Hopefully for all the right reasons. It gives them a story to share. As I said, even your dad jokes are really bad. Okay, we live in a serious world. Okay, life's tough at times. So this is one way of standing out. Okay, like I say, penguin, duck pond. Okay, you just want to differentiate yourself, and humor is such an easy way to do it. It breaks down barriers. Yeah, I'll point out the obvious here. Just there are some topics you stay away from. Okay, probably keeping the humor at a non-sexual level would be a really good piece of advice we'd give you. Pick your audience, but yeah, just something vaguely amusing. Okay, make the interaction memorable, make it worthwhile. Explain your secret sauce. Hello, we all have something unique about our business. Okay, we are not cookie cutters. We have our own way of ensuring that we provide the customer with a quality experience, but usually we fail to explain that to the customer. Okay, I mean, why is it that what we do or the product we sell, why is it different, better, left-handed? What's that secret that we've got that means that we're the solution to their problem? It's a huge opportunity. And again, it comes all the way back to the beginning, customer education. Give them the knowledge, okay? And that's a powerful thing. They have that feeling of inclusiveness, which we talked about earlier, where people want to belong. You're giving them a story to share. Once you've given them a story to share, like that point of difference between you and your competitors, once you do that, you've created an advocate, because they'll be out there talking to more potential clients of yours, telling them why their experience with you was special, how you actually taught them something, and how you brought them into the business and made them feel like they belonged and that they were important. Okay, if there's one trick I can give you, it's this. Don't be afraid to share what makes you different, what makes your product special. Okay, it's something to be proud of. Do it. You want advocates, you want repeat business, tell them why you are better, why you are different. We mentioned this earlier, the first access, right? New product lines, new suppliers with a different product that does the same thing. Changes in the industry, no strings attached workshops. There are a dozen ways that you can give your clients first access to products or information that make them feel valuable. They don't have to buy anything. They just need to feel that they are important and that you value them. If you want to build that inclusiveness, make it a VIP thing. They're a repeat buyer. You've got something new. You're giving them first access. That if you look at look at banks, for example, they've got honeymoon rates for loans left, right, and centre. They don't have honeymoon rates for existing customers, and they wonder why they have such a churn rate for their book. If you want to build long-term customers, value the ones you've got. Give them first access. Let them know that you not only appreciate their business, but you're going to reward them for it, and then see what happens. It's for you, Reg. There here's another ad reference. Spark it up. The way you answer the phone. Now, some of us, a lot of us, have IVR systems, intelligent voice response. It's an automated, it's like an answering machine before somebody even picks up the phone. So, and it's boring. It's tedious. It's just, you just want to get through to somebody. You don't want to go through 15 different menu options. So create a massive point of difference. All right. Focus on the call. And this is really simple stuff. Okay, there are a dozen books that will run you through this sort of customer interaction. Focus on it and close the computer screen, or just stop looking at the computer when you answer the phone. All right, pause, smile, and then talk to them. Get in that positive mindset and be enthusiastic. I mean, have a tagline. Okay, I don't know about, hi, we're the penguin in the duck pond. How can we help you? That may work for you, but be enthusiastic. Okay, you've got a customer on the phone. Pump it up, guys. Come on. It's a chance to do business. It's a chance to build that repeat business. It's a chance to really sparkle and show people what you've got. Okay, first point, it is the first point of contact for a lot of your customers. So maximize that chance to impress and be different. Okay, get in there and be different. Handwritten notes, we mentioned that earlier. If you have the opportunity, use them. It stands out, it really does. Okay, small, tiny investment, a few minutes, a couple of dollars, but the return, if you can build relationships, put a smile on their face, massive, massive return. Now, this is an interesting way, again, coming back to your repeat business. Who do you know who can help? You've got a network of people who do what you don't do. So build a framework of sharing those skills. Make sure you've got a way that you're going to introduce, there's feedback, that if there's any specials in terms of the pricing deals, make sure it's all very clear, and then introduce your customers to them. It's simply adding value, all right? Make sure there's no surprises, okay? Follow stuff up. Again, touched on this earlier, just be real, be genuine, okay? People are doing business with you. It's about the emotion. It's with you. They're not doing business with a computer, okay? Don't put on a business persona that is fake, okay? Because people will spot it and they might do business with you once, they won't do it twice, right? They want legitimacy, they want real. So keep it real. And again, jargon, put a leash on it unless you really have to, okay? Price, and we talked about commoditization earlier. Okay, explain to people why cheap has a price. Okay, yeah, they may buy once, they won't come back. Okay, tell them why it's different. Now, they may not buy from you because they simply say, I can get the same thing elsewhere for less. Maybe just explain why your product and why your service is worth what you're charging. Okay, if you're going to build your business around people that buy on price, you can't build long-term value. Okay, in my opinion, that's a real mistake. Rewards, not discount. Again, coming back to pricing, don't discount to build your business. Okay, it's an expensive way, a really expensive way to retain customers. There are times you can justify it, but it is not a long-term process. Okay, offer them a reward. Your loyalty programs, your first access, all of that long-term value add. That's how you do it. Don't discount as a long-term strategy, because once you start discounting, you will not stop, and that smashes your margins. We know it's tough to change habits, okay? So decide what you want to be known for and make that the focus of what you do. It's got to be the framework for your decision-making, all right? So when you're talking to your team about focus, that's how you evaluate their performance. This is the framework. This is what we are known for. This is how we measure everything. And be an industry expert. Don't be afraid to be an industry expert, okay? Make your website the go-to website for your industry. So people want to find out stuff about blue widgets. They know that you're the person who knows about blue widgets ahead of all your competitors. And again, it comes down to sharing the knowledge and the information so that people can make informed purchasing decisions. You're demonstrating your expertise, you're building trust with your clients because you're empowering them with the knowledge, and people do business with those people they trust. Happy pays the bills. Right, we talked about humor. Happy workplaces, okay? There are a stack of studies on this, an absolute ton of them. It boosts productivity. They're not afraid to make mistakes, and they make less mistakes when they're happy. They fix problems instead of complaining. They make better decisions. They get sick less. They learn faster. It goes on and on and on. Life's tough. The world is a tough place to do business in, okay? You provide a happy environment. It'll be noticed and talked about. That winds us up. There's my contact details. This is another Business Station webinar. I hope you got value out of it, and we look forward to talking again in the future. Thank you.